There's certain things for me that when I'm operating under pressure, I'm just better. But that's what makes me a hyper creative rebel and allows me to do my greatest work by the design that I'm created in. I have no shame about how I'm created. And I think that's been one of the biggest breakthroughs I've had in my life.
There ain't no defeat, ain't no defeat in my blood. We don't surrender to lies. There ain't no defeat, ain't no defeat in my blood. There ain't no defeat, yeah.
Nope, just leave it on how it is. I'll let you know if something breaks.
Do you ever think you get to a point where you trust somebody else to build your PowerPoints?
That's right. I hope to God.
What's up, brother? It's good to see you guys. I want to welcome you guys to aligncon. I'm so pumped to be here with you guys this morning. We're going to have a blast. I'm so grateful that each and every one of you are here. I'm here to be with you guys. I'm not here to pontificate. I'm here to show you guys a new reality of what can be for you. And that's my heart, that's my intent. And I want to talk to you guys about your unique design and why I believe that God has an exceptional plan for your life. That's really my heart. What would make today extraordinary for you? And that's where I want to start.
So this, for me, it would be being able to receive something that would shift me more into my talents and gifts.
What would make today extraordinary and what would make just this experience extraordinary, and I think is what your unique gift is to connect with new people. I always think you are one person, one connection, one relationship away from doing some big things and collaborating and sharing in some big wins.
For me, I think what would be extraordinary to witness is for everybody to fully submit to what's going on. There's always a natural resistance when there's anything that's new that challenges your existing beliefs.
Excited to be here because I want to take in every bit of this and be in the present moment. This is a dream of mine. It genuinely is, to be here with like-minded individuals who are growing and receiving and getting better. That's why I'm here. So I'm very grateful to be here today.
For me, just to get a chance to meet Nick, we impromptu, organically met online, and really just to pick up on all the energy here and just really kind of take something as well as give something. So that's what I look forward to as well.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Alon.
And my dad taught me this lesson when we were really young, and it's just funny how like the game of business stole this. But now I reclaimed it and I'll never give it up again.
This is your drug dealer, Dad.
Yeah, this is my drug dealer. My dad, who's a drug dealer who found Jesus. You know, my dad was a drug dealer who found Jesus, okay? That's how my journey started. And for my brother and I, that's where we came from. And so transformation has always been a part of the conversation. Spirituality has always been a part of the conversation. How many of you know what your name means? Okay, good. Good percentage of the room. Now, I have one primary goal today, and that's that every single person in this room, before they leave, are either reminded of what their name means or have certainty about what it is. And here's why. When I went into full-time ministry, I started looking deeper around this concept because when Moses was born, his mother had this flash of awakening of what his purpose was. And this happened in biblical references of when the parent knew the calling of the child when they were born. It's crazy shit, okay? It's really, really cool. But here's what I started learning is like, when I went through a very unique season of my life of understanding myself on a deeper basis, the thing I had to go back to was my name. And the reason why is because it was the first word that was ever spoken over my life, ever. It is the foundation of truth for you. So if I'm here to talk to you today about alignment, the best place that I can start is at your name. Nicholas means patron. It's actually, St. Nicholas was the patron of sailors. So I help sailors who were lost at sea. So pull out your phone, your computer, and we're gonna go around the room again, and I'm gonna have you guys start sharing what your name means. And I don't want this to be an idea, because guess what? It's not an idea. This is truth. I always look for triple truth. It's like the truth is the truth is the truth. Usually know that when you get like chills down your spine, or when you feel like, holy cow, unarguable truth. That's what I'm looking for you today. And if you walk away with the foundational meaning of your name, I promise that you will show up differently in life when you live it, because that is the basis of your unique design. And anything else that I teach you today is going to come from the same place.
Hey guys, my name's Al Herrera, but my real name is Alvaro. Alvaro means guard of all. And Herrera, Herrera, means blacksmith, iron forge. Really interesting because it has a lot to do with who I am as a coach. So I've never looked at my last name before. I'm shocked at what I just saw, so it's definitely eye-opening.
Hindsight, they always say, is 20/20. I'm like, no, hindsight is confirmation of the truth. Always. You're the blacksmith.
That's right.
See that?
Yes.
And how does that change the game for you now?
So I think it's interesting because as I was thinking about this, I got a vision of people and a hardened shell. And so it takes a blacksmith to chisel.
Oh my God.
Little by little and in relationship. And it takes time and you can't rush that. Like that takes time for people to feel comfortable enough to shed the layers and then become their true self.
Amazing. Let's give it up for Al. That's incredible. I mean, blacksmith, and he's a coach, talking about iron sharpens iron. I mean, you've got to be freaking kidding me, right? Isn't this stuff crazy? Now you guys know what I'm talking about. And my dad taught me this lesson when we were really young. But there were two elements. One, he said, don't ever prostitute your gift, which was a really powerful thought process. I'm like, don't give your best to someone who doesn't deserve it. For the sake of what? Another client under the belt? Like another opportunity to go, speak or to go do whatever. No, I just don't care anymore. I'm not enthralled by the external validation of doing good for somebody, even if that means that I'm at an L because of it. I don't care. But you have to get to that breaking point where you're like, I refuse. And it becomes like these sacred boundaries in life. A lot of people talk about them, but it requires the pain of the experience of the opposite side to understand what a real boundary is and where you're really willing to not violate something. I want you again to participate in this. If you're tired of trying strategies that are not effective because you know that there is no one size fits all, say yes. Okay, cool. Who is ready to be in alignment with your work and with your unique energy? Finally tap into your superpowers to amplify your magnetism and your income. You want to wake up every day feeling excited to show up to your business, overflowing with inspiration, feeling in love with life. Yes? How many of you want to serve from a place of love and operate from wholeness, not from a place of lack, not from a place of confusion, not from a place of, my God, I'm not good enough? It's one of the biggest lies ever. And come from a place of where you are unconditionally proud of who you're being. Newsflash, you are not what you do. It's an extension of the sovereignty of the way that God created you, but it is not you. That was probably one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. The other thing that my dad taught me that was really important, and my dad's been my spiritual mentor for my whole life, but he said, God will always make room for your gift. And that's the other promise, is knowing that no one can take that away from me. Meeting David Meltzer, a year ago, 10 months ago. I couldn't have strategized my way through a brown paper bag in order to make that happen. No way. Then when I met him and we connected, he's like, we're just on the same frequency, man. There's something special here. And I'm like, dude, I totally agree. We're like, thank you. This is awesome. And he's like, yeah, let's do more together. And then so he invited me out and I showed up, and he invited me out and I showed up, invited me out and I showed up, invited me out and I showed up. And he's like, Nick, you're the guy who just shows up. And I'm like, wow, I remember that from the days when I was in ministry doing what I believed was my greatest work. That's what I was recognized for.
Just because I'm in this massive transition, not knowing what the next step is. I mean, dude, I'd love to go do that with you, but it's just I don't even know what the next step even looks like.
Yeah, for you.
For me personally.
Yeah, perfect.
That's the reason why I'm sitting here going I don't even know if this applies to me.
Yeah. How many other feel I don't know how this applies to me? Or I don't know if I'm ready for the next step. Okay, cool. Would it be fair to suggest that you feel trapped or stuck in transition right now between two places, A and B? Yes. Lost, okay. How many others feel lost? Okay. So here's what's interesting. To get from point A to point B just requires a question. What do you want? Where do you want to be? And let me, because I know a little bit, right? Let me suggest that that's unclear. Okay. So would it be of any harm to you to figure out what the truth is about your design in order to help you conquer that decision of feeling lost? Okay. You don't have to build a personal brand to do it. But you do have to take a step in the right direction in order to figure out what to do, because that transition, that trapped in transition, is like a cocoon. This is the whole idea, that you're not having any type of crisis. You're in an evolution stage from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Okay? So that's that transition that you're feeling. And let me tell you, I spent 2 years in that cocoon, questioning everything, going like, Jesus, what the hell is going on in my life? But you can't take a razor blade and cut that thing open in order to let the butterfly out, because the struggle is what creates the strength for you to endure the next season of your life. I was in a place of like, you know, not really thinking about energetics, thinking about more so around like, I don't know, got to dial in my offer, got to figure out my niche, you know, got to figure out like what I want to do. I had done this stuff for companies 1 billion times, like so many times, built HubSpot and made massive success in the format of, you know, lead generation and sales and marketing and operational systems for marketing. But that was so like caterpillar and I'm like getting into butterfly, right? And so there's that transition point. And a lot of people feel trapped in transition, like they're stuck in the middle between what they used to do that maybe they enjoyed, or the thing that they were good at, versus what their soul is longing for. You look in contrast to what that's been like over the last few years, running an agency and burning the hell out. I mean, burning out like hardcore. And that's the transition in life that I decided to make. It was simple. I'd rather be homeless than to go back to what was. Now this is a fun one. That's my son, Jude. I was a miserable asshole. I'm dead serious. And it came from a place of what I thought was service, because I was just trying my best. Felt like situations and challenges happened that I couldn't control. But when I took control over those things and said, in all intents and purposes, if it's gotta be, it's up to me. That's why I hired Brent. I just made a decision, like, this is not gonna go down this way anymore. I pulled out 200 G's and said, like, I'm not going to work. I'm gonna sit on this and I'll spend whatever I have to spend, but I refuse to do another gig, another coaching op, another consulting op, another, interim CEO op. I refuse to do anything that doesn't give me pure excitement. I'm an enthusiast. So if I'm not enthusiastic about what I'm doing, then why the hell am I doing it? And then I wonder why my marriage was in shambles, and why I couldn't connect with my kids, and why some clients I really enjoyed working with and they got great results, and then other clients I was more passive about working with them and they got average results. We weren't fighting in the same direction. Look at Lauren Johnson. When I met her, she had made $65,000 in her coaching business that year. That was in April. By December, she did $685,000, and she's just crossed over 1.7 million. That's in 18 months. That's someone who I really love working with, and who I'm enthused by, and where I'm excited about what she's up to. And in reflection to me, I also made a decision where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna work for anybody, or with anybody, or co-create with anybody, or collaborate with anybody, or do this with anybody who I don't want to be recognized by. I hadn't had fun with my kids like that in a long time. And, I think in a lot of ways, this process saved and again, I knew it, I just didn't understand how to apply it to my work, which was the thing where a lot of the stress was coming from, and a lot of the waves were coming from. So it's I even had the information, but I didn't know how to apply it. And once I cracked the code, everything just started happening in the right direction. But like I was able to show up for my kids totally different, for my wife totally different. We started going on date nights again. I regained a personal sense of confidence. I stopped questioning my worth or my ability at home and in life and in business and everything else. And I stepped into my role as a leader, both at home and in my business. And then I hired Brent to make sure that I could keep doing that. It's funny, but it's actually everything I'm telling you is unbelievably true. Started saying thank you to life's challenges. Like, it wasn't rosy. It was hard. But like I started going like, I like hard. That's why I hired Brent. He's like, you do hard things and you make a decision to go like, no, like this is what I'm inviting into my life. I'm gonna intentionally put myself to a place of where I'm like, hard happens in both directions. You can either stay where you're at, that's really hard. Or you can be the best dad ever, the best husband ever, have the best business ever, and that's gonna be really hard too. And then that started ingraining in my life of where I'm like, whoa, oh wow, now I'm seeing momentum. And so that was a big part of this. Thank you guys for holding space in the moment. And Tori, thank you for that encouragement. Understanding that I help people a lot of times who are going through that dark night of the soul, and I'm the one who shows up at the hero that knocks on the door and says like, life's not gonna go down this way. Like, if you gotta go through the gates of hell, I'm gonna go with you. Like, let's go together. How much better is it to go together than to feel like you're on the outskirts by yourself, you have no direction, no guidance, you have no certainty. Like, that's what I help cure with a lot of people. But like, if no one's asking the question, we actually become damaged by default. Like, we find ourselves in a position of where we're like inflicting self-betrayal and self-harm simply because we said, oh yeah, I think it's a good idea. And that's an old idea that happened a long time ago. So my contention point for people is this. The best way that you can do the greatest good is by understanding what unique contribution you can make into the world. And if you don't know what that is with 1,000% certainty, then you need to talk to me. And you have to make a decision to step into something greater for your life. The world is not a better place if you are not making a unique contribution. And that is a mountain and a hill that I'm willing to die on. This shit's been pent up for a minute.
I was gonna say, you ready?
This shit's been pent up.
It's 10 to 9.
Mm-hmm. I didn't finish my slides, but that's okay.
Do it.
All right, I'm just gonna do it right now.
Okay. Super duper hype is, hey! Make sure you don't forget it. Don't forget to mention. That was nice.
Hey, this is Dave Meltzer at aligncon, and I just want to tell you that Nick Cavuoto put on this event like none other. I've done thousands of events around the world, and to come here in Nashville, the spirit of excellence, the neighborhood, and the frequency was off the charts. This is an incredible event. If you get a chance to check out Nick Cavuoto or aligncon, you don't want to miss it. I certainly will be there.
Nick is such an amazing human. He gets me right in my heart because he understands the value of being a servant leader and what it means to truly show up.
The people that are here are a direct reflection of Nick and of the people he pours into and of the people that he attracts. And so I think that every single person here wanted to see each other win.
His like unique ability is that the second you meet Nick, you feel like he's been like your long lost childhood friend.
Yeah, I mean, it just like really solidifies the choices that I've made.
And with him, this process it flows out of him in a way that I haven't experienced before. He has an intuitive seeing. It's almost like clairvoyancy.
Every word that was spoken, every essence that was here was something that allowed me to gain so much more confidence.
Like I was trying to explain my feelings to someone earlier today, and overwhelmed didn't quite fit, but grateful does.
It's such a refreshing and inspiring energy to be around, and it motivates me to get up every day and to live my fullest expression and live out my unique calling by watching him do that and live as a living example of it.
Nick is a powerhouse amplifier. He knows right people and he knows how to bring them together. He's a true connection maker.
He's taken the time to understand who I am. And as a result of that, he can pipe through with the messaging in just this super clear, super direct, very quick way that I'd been banging my head against a wall for like 3 years trying to figure this out, and he solved it in 10 minutes.
You know, everyone has a superpower, but Nick Cavuoto's superpower is one that I align with immensely, and it's kindness. He is one of the most gentle souls that I've ever met. And if you want to be immersed in kindness, people who want to help each other and know people who can help each other, then you want to surround yourself with the Nick Cavuotos of the world.
And man, that guy just has the ability to pull out like the best in people.
I was like, I don't think I can get through this conference without crying. I'm gonna look like a crazy person crying at this table.
You will never regret investing in yourself. And this is one of the best rooms to do it in. This is a room of people that they care about you. They want to see you win, and it's non-judgmental. And so this is the place I want to be, and you will be seeing me here for years to come.
Yeah, super duper hypest.